Okay, here we are at the Pioneer Museum of Alabama. I understand it's been here for about 50 years down in Troy. And I'm getting that from my friend Kevin Kane. Talk about some old dolls. Wow. So, look at that airplane. Alright, here's a old toy there. Look at this. It's fascinating stuff. Daniel Boone book. Miniatures. This is a shelf full of miniature stuff here. And this is pretty much going to be a teaser because there's just so much stuff in here. Just endless array of I never knew. I passed by this place, but I never stopped here before. This is totally freaking amazing. There's a Huey doll. Okay, enough dolls. And then, of course, we have to have old money. Very old money. And this is Bass Family Ruins, Furniture donated by Annie Bass, Brundage, Alabama. And you can't. Okay. Look at that old piano. This is truly interesting stuff. And this is like, like gift cards and greeting cards and that kind of stuff. Alright. So I remember the stereoscopes. We'll be able to get that. And old books. Wow. More than one of these pianos. And these guys right here are all dressed up, ready to go out into town. You even in here got that smell. It's not putrid or anything like that. It's just you know it's old stuff. Okay, let's look at the rest of the Bass Family furniture. Oh, look at that cake. That's like a chicken pot pie or something on the table. And these rooms are just set up to take it back to this era in time. It's a different world. All right. you are into my goodness, anybody into quilting, sewing machines, 1854, 200 years or 100 years before I was born. That's what they were sewing with. It's got the old foot pedals. I remember my mother, she had one like that one back there, and it was not electric. You had to run it with your feet. And that's what they sewed with, even when I was a kid. That's what I remember when she first got her first electric sewing machine. She didn't have to do her feet thing anymore. That's a nice jacket and vest right there. Oh, okay. Got a lot to see. And what do we have here? And people were complaining about what they were going to do on this staying at home. What if you had to live like these people did? This was it. This is what you see. It's what they had. What is this? Wow, okay. Hey, this is the way they dry their clothes. Got somebody's underwear hanging up there. That's it. Alright. Of course, I remember the old scrub boards and washboards. That one's called a scrub board. And this one is a washboard. So you wash and scrub. And, wow. Picture pump. Now we're getting into some indigenous people. Okay, I hope I don't get in trouble for this bare-breasted woman right there. They're doing the corn. Okay. And then, look at this. They got... Anybody want to go canoeing? All right. Oh, there's another bare-breasted woman on the wall. This is a famous something. Of course, I know that's a print, but that goes back. Look at that. There's no information on that, but that's not new. This is the military section, clearly. And from World War I. And that was, interestingly enough, for those that don't recognize it, that was called the War to End All Wars. And we know how that turned out. That guy, he's ready. He's got some extra bullets right there. Go this other side right here. And there's another uniform, and of course we've got guns. I don't know if these are replicas. They're awful clean. They've been redone or cleaned up. This is pretty much Civil War stuff here. You can't come to Alabama and not have Civil War stuff. That's just part of it. Okay, I guess this has some significance. That's from the USS Boston that burned and sunk by Confederate troops on the Saluda River in South Carolina. This is what they call bullets, right? They look at that. Or instruments of war. Communications. Now we've gone literally from this kind of stuff. There's the ringer right there. That's what used to ring. And there is the original Bluetooth. And these phones, there was nothing to dial. And when they rang, this was what they were connected to ring, and you would have the operator, and you would tell them, and there was no area codes and stuff like that, but that was communication. There is the telephone line right there. You look at that now, it's like hazard waiting to happen. Now we're getting into industrial age. But these are farm implements here. And on this side, this is really the industrial age here. Look at this heavy duty stuff. Typesetting, look at this. This is what they do typesetting on. Printing press, linotype. If you had a book or you had a newspaper to print, can you believe it? Now you do that just right off your little laptop or your iPad. Letterpress there. And there is more of this. And here's where they used to really run off the newspapers. Right here. Right, that machine right there, they would pump those newspapers out. And now, newspapers are just about totally a thing of history. And here's the negatives, if you will. And that's from Troy. I don't know if there's anything aged about these. Let's see, what's the date? I can read it. 1837. Up there, yeah, August 4th. Of course, yes, one time cotton was king. Not so much. All those cotton fields I grew up with in North Alabama are now subdivisions. Okay, something else we don't... I guess people are still blacksmithing because you still have to shoe horses. I guess they just do it in a different way now. But this is the blacksmith. And I guess, well, I'm speculating now, but I think they could use this same stuff to make some of those bullets with. And look, I used to have some horseshoes. I don't think they're old. We go over here, we've got the 2-horse wagon, tallow, lard, and pine tar were used to grease the wheels. Lard was used for everything. I remember the lard. We've got a horse in here. All right, this is logging. And look at these blades right there. You know, now they've actually got blades that they swing from a freaking helicopter to top trees with. Literally. And that's the way. You see those big 18-wheelers, but that's the way they used to do it right there. Come a long ways. Oh, my favorite part. We're coming up with an old hearse. Okay. This is a dump cart. European style. Alright. Now here we come to the best part. This is called the pinch toe coffin, and you can see why it was called pinch toe. Right? You can see that clearly. Look at this hearse, Mrs. Mary Blair. I don't know what that has to do with it. Mary Blair Grubbs. This was, it doesn't say, horse-drawn hearse. Used until 1915, this horse-drawn hearse was a triple spring undercarriage and an elegant, somber appearance. Trapdoor in the floor was an aid in loading and cleaning and ventilation, so they could actually, I guess, drop that floor. And that's interesting right there. That is a... I could display that in my front yard without any problem. Wouldn't bother. Oh, wait a minute. In the South, it wouldn't be considered a museum without the Moonshine Mill. If anybody ever got on YouTube and familiar with it, the quintessential moonshiner, Popcorn, committed suicide because after all those years of, this is from 2006, that's not even an old one. People are still moonshining. This would be for travel. We got a upper crust lady here who's riding in the carriage, and the guy with the top hat is chauffeuring her. And they didn't use poop bags. Some of them now have poop bags on the horses when they go through, but they don't have any protection to keep the. Of course, they didn't. Oh, I like this through here, road cart, and the buggy, and there's the mighty hearse, the runabout, the sidebar buggy, there's a hay wagon, child's charrette, elegant vehicles. It don't really explain why, but there's Old Blue. A metal skeleton version of Old Blue. Why didn't they make him a skeleton too? Okay, I don't understand. Lest we forget, we're back to some of the cotton area here, but here is an 1886 version of the Cotton Gin. And oh, not far from here is Boll Weevil City, if you will, gin tooth sharpener for sharpening your blades, not your teeth. So this is called the Village Center. Here is the attorney's office, and again, this is a whole section. There's the barber. They're not social distancing. I just noticed that. It's called the White House, and this is milliner. We got hats and hats and hats, and then here's the drugstore, and there's the old fountain. I remember those. We still had a couple of those when I was a kid. They played out. There was a couple. And that's the way you used to get your medicine there. Here is the bank. Oh, they let you step in here a little bit. So, yes, I would like to make a withdrawal, please. Frank Anderson. So, got some antique stuff in there, but he's not even looking at me. How am I going to do anything here? It's where you could tie off your horse, and of course, you wouldn't have to worry about them because they supplied water, so they wouldn't get dehydrated while they were waiting on you to do your banking and shopping. And I don't know why the doctor's office, well, I do. You go to the doctor, then you got to go to the bank, so you go to the pharmacy, and then you go down, get your hair cut, then you go to a lawyer so you can sue your doctor. Okay, I got it. The examining beds have really not changed that much over the years. Wheelchairs have. Oh gosh, here's everybody's favorite. The dentist. God, what? Look at that chair. That looks uncomfortable as crap. Are you kidding me? No wonder people, they started out awful. Look at that thing. Alabama's governors from Troy, and that was from 1915 to 1919, Governor Charles Henderson. And this is his little area. And see, we used to really dress in those days with canes. That was one of his outfits. It was worn at his inauguration. And boy, it's a whole different world now, isn't it? They don't really go that way at all much anymore. But I guess that's Mr. Henderson, Governor Henderson. Let's get it right. I don't have a clue what this room is. More artifacts. Gourds have always been a big thing in Alabama. Make gourd birdhouses. This just seems to be kind of. Oh, this is that. Yeah. Can't remember the name of it. All right, here's some old trunks. And this, I guess, was out, and this is the way you'd get your luggage off the railroad. And we're going to look at a train outside in a little while. Chapman, Alabama. But this was the luggage of the day. And they literally traveled with trunks. Order, hoop. I guess they did practice social distancing back then. All right.